Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Makakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do rule well, teach his truth in all honesty and sincerity. Salutations to you brothers running four corners of the earth. They push this truth, all honesty and sincerity with great diligence to wake up the hopeful elect of Israel. Double shalom to you out there that come looking like the heathen, scattered abroad amongst the nations, but you are in fact of the stock of Israel, and you hold near and dear to this truth and follow the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your abilities, wherever you may be scattered. And shalom to the few sincere Akwathim that listen and learn in silence, playing your creation role as the Lord commanded you to. Here in the news, we see more violence and airstrikes and war among the people. And over there in the Middle East, Jerusalem, Palestine, in that region, and there's a perfectly good explanation for it. I'm gonna play this little TikTok video and clip of another video from the war over there. We'll grab some scriptures and the Lord will be edified and see that these scriptures do not lie. The word of the Lord is true. Let every man be a liar that says anything different.
Most Christian Zionists in America have no idea that the people living in Israel are not native, the area of Palestine, Israel, whatever you want. They were not born there. They immigrated from Europe.
Ashkenazi Jews.
They were Ashkenazi Jews who came in from Europe and with the rifle took the land. God didn't give it to them. They took it at the point of a rifle, shooting Arabs, and they killed Muslims and Christians. They slaughtered them, massacres, women, children, horrible massacres. That is the history of Israel, 1948, and I dare.
And there's a document or a treaty called the Belfort Declaration, which in 1948 it took people from Poland who are of the nation of Edom. They're the grandson of Esau himself, so they're a tribe of Edomites who were put into that land through a treaty. Like he said, the Lord didn't put them in the land. They took it,
Dare any Christian Zionist to prove me wrong, because I can show you the historical records of the massacres that took place in 48. It was horrible, absolutely horrible, the people who were killed. And because of that, the Arabs developed a fury, an anger that European Ashkenazis just flooded in to Palestine and violently pushed them off their land.
It's all of them fight over the land because it's a holy land. It belongs to the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans of today. That is their land. That was their heritage given to them by the Heavenly Father. See, the scriptures that tell you that the Lord gave the rest of the nations their land based off of the number of the children of Israel. But
our top story earlier.
Here we have I'm gonna play just a small piece of the fighting going over there in the land, and it will be this way until the Lord puts Israel back into their land.
Today, clashes erupted inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. Israeli police said that they entered the mosque to dislodge agitators. Palestinian movement Hamas denounced the police action as an unprecedented crime. Hamas, which rules the Gaza Strip, called on Palestinians in the West Bank to go en masse to the Al-Aqsa Mosque to defend it. Israeli police said that the agitators had barricaded themselves inside the mosque with fireworks, sticks, and stones. The mosque compound in the old city of East Jerusalem has previously seen clashes and violence between Palestinians and Israelis. Clashes have been particularly witnessed
And neither of them does the land belong to.
during Ramadan, which draws tens of thousands of worshippers to Al-Aqsa. The holy Muslim site is built on top of what Jews call the Temple Mount, Judaism's holiest site. The fresh violence comes nearly halfway through Ramadan and as Jews prepare to celebrate Passover. Israeli police released video footage showing what appear to be fireworks explosions inside the mosque. Another police video shows riot police with shields advancing through the mosque under a barrage of fireworks explosions. The footage then shows a barricaded door and boxes of fireworks on the floor. Israeli police said that they stepped in after law-breaking youths and masked agitators barricaded themselves inside the mosque. A statement said that they detained rioters who caused damage to the mosque and desecrated it. After the announcement of clashes at the Al-Aqsa, several rockets were reportedly fired from the northern Gaza Strip towards the Israeli territory. The Israeli army said 5 rockets fired from the Gaza Strip were intercepted by the aerial defense system. The Israeli army added that 4 other rockets fell in uninhabited areas. Israeli fighter jets later struck 2 Hamas weapons manufacturing sites in the central Gaza Strip in response to the rocket fire. Earlier in Gaza, dozens of demonstrators took to the streets overnight, burning tires. Egypt condemned the Israeli police's action. Egypt's government warned the clashes could undermine the truce efforts in which Cairo is engaged with regional.
But you still have, war, fighting, clashes, over this land. Now I'm jump into some precepts. Lord willing, you be edified. I'm gonna go to let's start in Revelation. And it reads, this is Revelation chapter 2 and 9. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty. Now, who's in poverty, man? The Israelites are. These people who claiming to be over there, claiming to be the children of the Lord, they have the dominion of the earth, man. They live in the best parts. They can actually have the power to bring law into bring legislation and make law of it, pass ordinances to benefit them. The Israelites don't have that power because they're still in captivity. But thou art rich, and we rich in spirit, man. Jake go through hell, man, but still can smile, still can laugh, still can have compassion for the next person, still has empathy. People have none of that. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. You see, they have the power to, they have control. They have control. The world is in their hands. Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So, you know, the jig is up, man. You know, the jig is up. Let's go to the book of Micah. Salakia. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. You know, see, who is the one that's taking all the lands? Who is the ones that are going around taking resources, putting people in bondage, colonizing everywhere? It's those people, man. The nation of Edom, and the tribe of Amalek, being Esau's grandson. They are the money. They're the money holders. Esau is the war man. You know. Let's take it back to Genesis 16 and 12. I'll start at 7. And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way of Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarah's maid, whence camest thou, and whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarah. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, return to thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction, and he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. You see, Ishmael is the father of the so-called Arabs. He's also a son of Abraham, not of the promise, but it was told that he would be in war with his brethren, man, with his neighbors. You see, and they all fight over the land, but they know who it rightfully belongs to. And this is the time we're coming into, where the Lord is going to stir up the nations and bring them to the valley of Jehoshaphat for the battle, man, to plead for the cause of Israel, the true Israelites, man, which are scattered abroad and dispersed into all lands. Go to the book of Deuteronomy 28, and I'll start at 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even to the other. Now, see, this chapter, Deuteronomy 28, the Lord is presenting Israel with the reward of being obedient to his law, statutes, and commandments, and what would happen if we went off as a nation from his law, statutes, and commandments. And when you read from 15 to 68, the Israelites suffer from all those curses, man. None other people. And there thou shalt serve other gods. What do we have? Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, Kemet, Egyptology. Our people is into every wayward doctrine, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shall thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart and a failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. Our people bugged out. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. In the morning, what just happened? Jake can get downtrodden, shot, uh, uh, brutally beaten by police. You know, hell, even shot and killed by racist citizens. For just walking or jogging. And there's no law passed for our protection. Our life hangs in the balance. But let another nation something happens, there will be a bill passed, like the Asian hate crime. But continuing on. In the morning thou shalt say, would God it were even, and in evening thou shalt say, would God it were morning, for the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. Talking about the land of Jerusalem. Even Israelites that go back and try to live in Jerusalem, and they get kicked out, man. So we're to wait on the Lord to put us back in that land, which shows that the people who are over there are not it. They're not those people. They're not the chosen. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. No man shall save us, man. But the Lord is busy. He's working, even when we don't see or understand. He's working on the behalf of his remnant, the elect. This is Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel. Talking about the southern and northern kingdom. And set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Is that happening? No, it's not. But you see, Jake is starting to elevate. Jake is starting to be more prosperous. Seeing that the Lord is putting the curses that were on the Israelites, they're being put up on our oppressors, man. You see, Deuteronomy 30:7. You see that happening to Edom, man. He's becoming a victim of the things that he once afflicted us with. His family being broken up, the drug crisis, them losing their house, their home, their money, they're cursed everywhere they go, you know. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. And America is spiritual Babylon, man. It's the daughter of Babylon. It's the new Babylon. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepters of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with the continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they that shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. You see, Esau is being brought low, man. Jump down to 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did weaken, that did it shake the kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. Jumping down to verse 22. For I will raise up against them, said the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, said the Lord. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pool of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, said the Lord of hosts. The Lord of hosts hath sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have purposed, so shall it stand, that I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread him under foot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders. You know, the real children of Israel are not in the land. They're phony. They are actors, man. The biggest case of identity theft. This is Joel 3 and verse 1. For behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land, and have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and so a girl for wine, that they may drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly, pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem ye have sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabines, to a people far off, for the Lord hath spoken it. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Make up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves, and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. And let the heathen be weakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. you know. So, this will lead up to the destruction of the heathens, man, and to the restoration of Israel. It only gets worse, and the Lord will plead on behalf of Israel and Judah, man. This is why you will have no peace until the children of Israel are back in their land, as the Lord has spoken. Hope this has been an edifying lesson. I'm going to say Kwam Yasharala and a Bible Ball.